Happy Saturday. So this season I did a lot of propagating. I did a lot of, my pothos, my philodendron, all the plants. But I also did some propagations to some slow growing plants. Ones that I really haven't talked about that much, but I've been sort of keeping a video log of the progress that I've had so far. So today what I want to do is I want to catch you up, show you that video footage, and I'm going to show you the progress that we've made so far on these propagations, and we're going to pot them up because why not? It's that time. So let's get started with the video footage. So here in this video, I am pretty much, taking cuttings of my ZZ plant. This is my green ZZ I don't even want to try to pronounce the word right now. But this is my ZZ plant. So these were taken back in June, late June of this year. Here I'm walking over to, oh, look at my Sterling. She was so pretty back then. She's struggling right now, but she's gonna be okay. She's gonna be okay. So this is my Raven. Oh Lord, this is my Raven ZZ, and I'm cutting off a stem, and later on I'll cut off some of the leaves to do some leaf propagations as well. So far we have. Oh, I'm actually cutting some now. So far we have the regular green ZZ and this Raven ZZ. Okay, and we're in the creative space now. And I wanted to also propagate my snake plant. Now I've never propagated snake plants before. So I do understand that there is, that you have to be careful to put the bottom part of the stem in water. Now, if that makes sense, I'm not really sure, but I'm following what I saw online. So here I'm cutting up one leaf, and I'm trying to kind of make sure that I put the bottom in. And of course, the moment that you try to be super careful about things and you want to get it just right, you drop it. But I kind of used a little bit of Jedi mind trick stuff to kind of match the two cuts together to make sure that I had the bottom facing down and not sitting up. So here I'm just taking some tape and I'm marking the top, because I knew as I would take them out and water them and change, I didn't want to get them confused and I didn't want to be stressed about it. So I just kind of put a little piece of tape on them and marked which cutting was the top cutting. And here I'm just labeling the cups just to make sure that I remembered when I did what, because I forget stuff, right? Yeah, and at this point, I think what I'm doing is, I'm cutting the stems down, and then removing some of those leaves. And every part of this I did propagations on. So with ZZs and snake plants, you can literally take and propagate through either their stem or their leaf. This is one of the things I loved about all of the plants that I propagated in this series. You can propagate them all the same way, the stem or the leaf. And you don't necessarily need a node in order to get roots from that area. So I love that about these kinds of plants. So I tried to kind of separate the leaves from the stems. I was really interested to see which one was going to root first. I had a clue which one would root first, whether it would be the stem or the leaf. And I was actually right. Okay, here I'm just kind of cleaning off my tools. One of the things that I did want to do was, one of the things I did do, and I do want to mention this too, is that I'm using right now some diatomaceous earth. And I'm doing that because it is known to be like a pesticide and an insecticide. And so I kind of want, it kind of helps to keep things clean too, because it will help to dry out that area and keep it dry. And so I kind of wanted to use it just, you know, to kind of keep things from getting hairy. One thing I did do with all of these cuttings is I let them callus over before I put water on them. So I let them sit out in this diatomaceous earth, just in the air, for at least 24 hours. So I just wanted to make sure that they dried out a little bit before I put them in water. So this next clip was taken sometime around mid-August. I want to say August, around the 20th or 19th or 20th of August. And this is the update to these plants so far. I'm going to start with the obtusifolia because I can't remember whether I actually included this in the beginning or not. But I actually cut my mother plant. Let me go get that right quick. I cut my mother plant. She's a cutie. I cut my mother plant. I want to say this says 7/8, so I'm gonna believe it. I cut my mother plant on, and she's about ready to be watered. I cut my mother plant on the 8th of July. Today is like the 19th of August. Look at me remembering dates. Okay, so this is yeah, she needs to be watered. She is a slow grower for me. I don't know why. I cut the crap out of her. So let me show you what her cuttings look like. So you know, with that is the Peperomia obtusifolia. They can propagate not only their leaves but their stems. So I took the leaves and I cut them off of the stem, and already they have rooted. So I change this water very regularly. So you see she has rooted. All of these have rooted. So what I have found when I was looking online is that, don't do it, is that in these sort of what I consider to be slow growing plants, let's see, is this better? I don't know, to my hair. In these slow growing plants, the leaves propagate or root quicker than the stems. I don't know what that's about. I don't know why, but it seems to be a trending thing. Girl, if you break these roots, I'm gonna be hot with you. So take your time, because this video ain't going nowhere. All right. Okay, so I put those back in the water. You see, I don't put a lot of water in here. This is actually the most water I've had in here. I usually have just enough, like right about there. And I change the water probably like every 2 or 3 days. So here are the stems, and you see they have rooted as well. Every last one of them has rooted. They are doing so good. So the thing that I love about this is that they don't need a node to root, right? So from what I understand, like with this, let's see, I don't like taking those out because I don't want to break the root getting it back in that small, narrow little opening. But they actually do have little places where the petiole meets the stem. And typically when you cut a plant like this, something will grow from there. So this is why I like cutting the mother plant, because it forces the mother plant to grow. Even if your propagations don't make it, the mother plant is going to grow and do some different stuff. She hasn't done that yet, but that's what she's supposed to do. I don't know if she got the memo, but that's what she's supposed to do. So I'm just waiting for that to happen. She is a slow grower, so there's that. Now, the update on the snake plant. This one was actually cut on the 28th of June, and I put it in water. So I did let it sit out for a little bit. the real tea on this is I had her in water and then she started rotting at the bottom. So I cut the bottom off, let it sit out for another day or two before I put it back in water. So even though this says the 28th, it probably happened like a week later. Then I cut it and so I restarted the process all over again. But I honestly think these are roots on here. Oh gosh, that's really hard to see, isn't it? Oh, trusty blackboard. So yeah, I think I see a little piece of root on here. I literally just changed this water yesterday. So, and I change this water right frequently too. I usually try to change it the same time I change the other ones because it might be easier to see in the water. But I really think she'll be rooting soon. It is taking a while. This is the Mikado Fernado. That sounds wrong. If it's wrong, I'll put the correct name in. But this is a snake plant. Let me show you her mother. This is the mother of this cutting here. And I really don't see much happening with this thing. It might be some new pups growing down here or new leaf lancets, whatever they call these things. But I really haven't seen much going on. This is my first time owning this plant, so I really don't know how quickly it grows, but it's a snake plant, so I wouldn't expect a whole lot of new growth in here, but I love the way she looks, right? I just love it. So, and she's nice and firm. Oh my goodness, I love it. Okay. Last little quick part to the update is the ZZ. So, all right, look. So we have roots. So she was cut on June 28th, same when I did that one, and propagated, put in water on the next day. So I let these like callus over for like at least 24 hours. Oh, drips. So you see I have roots. I am dripping water. Now this one doesn't have any roots yet. Not all of them have roots. And to be honest, the Raven ZZ, ooh, this one got roots even on the side of the leaf. Okay, so this one also has the little potato. I know that's not what it's called. I probably should know the name of it. But it's like the little potatoes that is where the leaves or the actual leaves grow out of the ZZ plant. Tuberous type deal. This one doesn't have roots yet. This one has roots and the little potato thing. And this one has roots and the little potato thing. So, like I said, I change this water. Oh my goodness. Probably every 3 or 4 days. I try to get at least 2 in a week. Because it's so little water. And then I got these daggone fungus gnats that I don't trust. I think they be laying eggs in there. So I don't fool with them like that. Okay, so my ZZ is super big. Matter of fact, my ZZ is pretty big. Well, the leaves are pretty big. This one is actually yellowing. She's not doing much of anything, but something is going on at the end there. So I'm going to let her, she's going to have to rot in order for me to throw her out because I'm not trusting that she's not doing anything. Same here. It doesn't look like much is happening, but it could be. So, ooh, look at these. Wait, hold on. Trying to get them together. The Raven is pushing out the little pumpkins, or I done changed it, right? It went from potatoes to pumpkins. And then these last 3, all of them have roots and a little pumpkin thing. Is that blurry? I don't know. You need to see clear to know whether or not it's filming clear, right? That's probably how it will work better that way. So yeah, that's how that's looking. And then last but not least, I think this is last. I feel like I had more. No, I didn't. Okay. Last but not least is the stems. I told you the stems. Okay, here we go. The top cutting of the smallest one is rooting first, and it's got something going on at the end there. That's the green. See, look at that. Nothing, no roots, but it's something, because this whole bottom is just swollen, right? What's going on with that? Anyway, something is going on, but it's not. Yeah, we're gonna give it some more time. The raven, look, one of them has root and a little action, and the other one has a little piece of root and some action. So like I said, this is progress from, let's just say, July 1st to August 20th. So about 7 weeks maybe. So if you guys are liking this kind of content, make sure you give this video a like. And if you're not subscribed yet, come on, hit the button. Okay, so today is somewhere around the beginning of December. I want to say around December the 5th, somewhere around there. No, it's not somewhere around there. It's actually December the 5th. Okay, so we'll start with the snake plants. So these are the snake plant cuttings, and so far they really haven't done much. I don't even know that you would consider this to be even ready to root up. Like, I don't really see that big of a difference. Let's see. Yeah, I don't really see nothing to write home about on these. A little bit, maybe. I don't know. Maybe this is all the root they're gonna get. I don't know, honey. I promise you I don't know. I tell you, the smartest thing I did though was to mark the top on these, because it's so hard to tell the difference once they start, once you start in on them. So I really don't know if that's all the root I'm going to get. I'm gonna leave them a little bit longer. I'm not even sure if I want to pot these up today, because I'm not sure if they're all the way there just yet. Now on to the exciting part. We're gonna start, I'm gonna do the ZZ. I eventually end up putting the small ones in their own little container, because I didn't want the leaf, the top part of the leaf, to be in water, because then that's a sure way to get it to rot. So I kept thank you, Light. I kept the bigger leafed ZZ in a different container than I did the small one. So looky look. Look at all of that action. Oh my goodness. Okay, let me get closer. So each one of these, as you see, has a rhizome. And I'm going to just take them back. Oh, look at that. Look at that. They are growing so well. So from this rhizome, and I'm going to show you with this next example. Look. Ah! I got my own little ZZ plant growing. Look at that. And look how small this leaf is. You would think, oh, the bigger leaves would do better. But these small ones are killing the game, okay? So you see from that the ZZ leaf, this whole thing is a leaf. Even what we would consider the petiole, all of that is part of the leaf, right? It's growing right up out of that rhizome. And as this one grows, it's going to create another rhizome, and it's going to push out another leaf. I love that. So I'm so excited. I'm so excited that it did that. Now, this one looks pretty bad. I don't know if this one is going to make it, but it's got a rhizome down there. So I'm going to pot up all of it, because what I do know is that when that leaf dies off, that rhizome has everything that it needs. So I'm going to pot it up anyway, but I'm going to be watching it, right? See, look at this one. This leaf is dying, but look at that. She is active and ready. So I think it's going to do fine, right? This one looks like it's got 2 little bumps on there. It looks like a little butt. That's funny. Okay. So yeah, I'm going to pot all of this up, right? Look at that. She did good. So this was in water from June, the end of June till December. So it has taken quite some time. Here is, let's go with the second set of leaves. So these are the bigger leaves. These are primarily from the green ZZ, but I got a couple in here from the black as well. So you see how much water I had in there. Not very much at all. And I did change it right frequently. What I didn't do lately is I haven't changed it in probably like a week maybe. It's been a week. I knew I was going to do this video, so I kind of like put it off. So you see these leaves are just about, they're yellowing terribly. I don't know what's going on here. I really don't. But it's hard. It's not mushy. It's not soft. I really don't know what's going on, but I'm going to pot it up anyway. So I'm going to put all the suspect ones in a pot. Oh, look at that. See, same. The leaf is yellow. The leaf still is hard. I mean, you know, it's not soft or mushy, but this part down here at the bottom, it's not mushy. It's got a root on it. This leaf has just about died, but the rhizome is good. And I'm going to use the leaf to help me make sure that I have it in the right direction. Right? Look at that. Now, I have had, and if you can believe this, 100% propagation rate. Nothing has died. Now, I'm not sure if everything is going to push out, but nothing, all of this has rooted, right? All of this has some, man, don't you get your keyboard wet. Let's move that. All of this has had some level of root action. So I'm excited about that. Here are the, now this leaf down here is actually a recent leaf. So this leaf fell off just the other day, and already she's looking kind of sad. So I think I might just let her go. But this leaf fell off the other day. I'm gonna let this one go. And here we go. Okay, now this is my confession. This is my usher confession. I was in here doing something one day and I knocked over something. You know how your plants kind of get caught on each other. I knocked over something and it knocked over the cup of propagations. And I picked up the majority of them and thought I had them all, and realized later on that one of them had fallen behind the shelf and was sitting out for a couple of days. It could have been this one. I really don't know. But this one has a little rhizome and it has roots. Same with this, has a rhizome. Look at that. That is so interesting. And roots. This one has a rhizome. And the plant is still, the leaves are still pretty viable. They don't look too bad at all. This one doesn't look too hot. She looks like she's dying off. But this one, I don't know. She doesn't have a lot of root action, but she's really swollen up in here, right? And nothing is mushy. So as far as I'm concerned, if it's not mushy, it's still viable, right? It's still viable. And this is a mid cut. So you see, this is where I had cut off the rest of the stem. And so I think she's going to do fine. I just think I need to maybe give her a little bit more time. So those are all the ZZs. My peperomias. Here's my peperomias. There's something floating, a little piece of wood or something floating in the water that looks crazy. But yeah, this is the, oh, let me try this. Oh, my black shirt is doing it, right? Look at the roots. That's crazy. And if you see, there is some greenery in there. So one of the leaves fell off or died off and left the stem with its roots, and it started pushing out a little leaf in there. When I go to pot it up, I'll pull it out so that I can show you. But there's another one right here. If you can see that. There's another one right there. And look, this one, there's a leaf right here. Look at that. My leaves are all still doing fine. And look, she's pushing out a baby too. Look at that. Look at that. I'm so excited. Okay, so let's get them potted up. I have a mature, of course you saw that because that's where I got the cuttings from. But I have mature ZZ plants, but do I actually really know what's going on up under that soil? If I hadn't saw someone else cut up a ZZ plant, I would have never known that they actually had rhizomes growing under the dirt. I would have never known that. I would have thought it had a because they have roots, right? I would have thought they just had a regular root system like other plants, right? Like aeroids. But they don't. Their root system and their rhizome system is a little different. And so I want to be able to see. I want to see how those things are growing and how they're doing. And just, you know, really see how much water it actually does take. Now, what I am going to do is I'm going to put these in this soil. And I'm going to, and I want to take these chunky pieces out because I don't feel like that's going to, whatever. I'm going to put these in a propagation box. And the reason I'm doing that is because I don't want to have to water them, but I know they need to stay moist for a little bit longer until these rhizomes sort of kind of get their feet wet. So we got everything potted up except for this. I also wanted to show you, but I wanted to show you my African Violet. So I actually propagated her too. Like I said, I don't consider her a slow grower, but she can be a little tricky. So what I did was, and I think I will have a picture to show you what she started off. I actually cut her on the 27th of June. I think what happened was when I was in there cutting the ZZ, this leaf broke off and I was like, cool, I'll propagate her too. So I took this leaf here, this one leaf here, and I stuck it in this soil, and I kept the soil evenly moist by keeping it in the propagation box. And of course, within a couple of months, now we have a full-grown plant. Now this mother leaf right here is not, she's still viable and hard, so I'm not going to cut her off because I believe she's still supplying a root system and maybe nutrients to the baby plant. So this is a little plantlet, and she's a little leggy right now because she doesn't get a lot of sun. But I have another little propagation box that I think I'm going to put her in so that she can get the light that she needs in order to grow. But I didn't want to rush it too much. Oh, I'm looking at her little leaves and they're so fuzzy and cute. Oh my goodness, you probably can't see the fuzz on that, but it is super cute. So hopefully you guys enjoyed today's video. I had a good time. I'm so excited to see these grow. And so as much as I love to add new plants to my collection, I love taking the plants that I already have and making them bigger and more lush and creating new babies and making them, you know, because these are the ones that do well in my home. For instance, this peperomia, like, they have been known to be really fussy about the water that they receive, but she has had nothing but the tap water from my home. So I believe she's going to do fine. She grew roots in these things, and I don't think she's going to have any problems with adjusting to the water in my tap. not her or the mother plant. So I'm loving this. I'm actually loving this process. I think I want to say I enjoy propagating as much as I do growing the plant. So yeah, I just love it. I have to admit. So I'm gonna water these now. I'm going to water them in pretty good, and then I'm going to put them all into this propagation box, which is where the African violet was living. So that's all I have today, you guys. Hopefully you enjoyed this video. If you did, make sure you hit that like button. And if you're not already subscribed, go ahead on and hit that subscribe button. Look, there's no such thing as stealing subscribers. So if you're subscribed to other planty YouTube channels, it's nothing wrong with subscribing to mine as well. So if no one has said it to you today, have a great day. Bye. Oh, wrong end. Ooh, child. One thing about me, baby, I'm gonna propagate.